Slotheads, how are we doing? It has been too long. My name is Paul. Welcome back to the channel, Slotcar 2021, bringing you the final review of the Policar BRZ drift set. And unfortunately, Leo can't give his final thoughts because he's busy with school, homework, everything else. So it is unfortunately just going to be me giving my final thoughts on the set, but obviously he did give quite a few opinions on the previous two parts on the videos, and yeah, he will be on more videos in the future. It's just we're just going through a really busy period at the moment, and I was just conscious that I hadn't put part 3 out and I wanted to get it out. So it has been a busy time period. It's probably the busiest time for me from kind of September through probably until March time. I am incredibly busy with work, and I've just been finding that instead of kind of keeping afloat with everything, I felt like I've been drowning in work, and it's all just got a bit too much. So I've had to really kind of focus and kind of prioritize and organize myself and try and chip away and get things done. And I've had quite a lot of things happening at home as well, whether that's kind of work on the house or just day to day sorting things out with the kids. And when I work, my wife looks after the kids, and when she works, I look after them. And we have very little family time together as a family unit, although we do have quite a lot of time with the kids, but just not all together. So I have prioritized a few days to that we are off. I think every kind of 6 to 8 weeks, we do get 1 or 2 days where we are all off and we can all do something as a family. So I've kind of prioritized that over slot cars and everything else. So yeah, I think that is important, and I'd encourage anyone in a similar situation to do the same thing. Family comes first, and that's really important to maintain a family relationship, relationship with your partner as well. So that's what I've been doing: work, family, and bits and pieces around the house. So yeah, but I'm back now. I'm going to be on a revised schedule of putting out content every month instead of trying to drop a video every week, because that's just unrealistic for me. And the focus is going to be on Leo and I delivering some really good content. I have been collecting a lot of HO, so there is an unboxing video, and that is something that Nico Slot Car Dude has sent something for Leo, so that is gonna be a future video. But let's get back to the Polycar review because I'm already about 5 minutes in and we haven't even talked about the Polycar set. So Pete, Track Fans TV, kindly sent the Polycar track for review, and it is going round lots of different kids. I think he wanted to well, not just kids but adults as well, trying to kind of give everyone the experience of Polycar. And Leo and I had a chance to play with it do different track layouts, as you saw in the previous video parts, and we also kind of gave our thoughts within those parts as well, but this is kind of the summary. So what we found out, Polycar set is a great set. It's a good price point, competes very well with toy brands, but I don't necessarily think, I think it does both toy and hobby, so it spans both. Carrera is really, really good as well. I think that's a strong brand as well, stronger than Scalextric in my opinion. But yeah, they all kind of, you know, whether it's Scalextric, Carrera, Policar, I think all those brands kind of price points for all of the products is very good between all of them. But what differentiates why you might choose one over the other, I think Polycar is available, and they've done a really, really good job of making it available in lots of different areas. So whether you're in the US, Europe, it really is accessible, and they've done a lot of work with retailers to make sure it's stocked in different areas so you can get a hold of it. One criticism, a little bit of a criticism, is that with Carrera, their Go stuff is really good. You can get that pretty much anywhere across globally, across the whole world, but their 132 sets are quite hard to get in the UK. If they were easier to get, I might have chosen that over Scalextric, but for me, Scalextric is a better option in the UK because it's more available, it's cheaper, and easier to get parts. So that's why I have got a Scalextric track, a layout at home. In terms of Polycar, it's a breath of fresh air, really. The Polytrack system is really, really good. You can clip the track together. I know that with other track systems, including Scalextric, you can do that, but not as easy. It doesn't come in the box. With the Polycar set, you open it up, you've got track clips in there, you've got a full color brochure. The track pieces feel really, really kind of solid. The quality is up there with Carrera in terms of the track system. The track texture is actually better than any other system. I know Scale Auto are supposed to be coming out with a track, but that's not really available yet. Ninko is, you can still get old sets, but the new, like, you can't really buy it new anymore, or it's not in production really anymore. I don't believe, unless, I think there are some sets that you can still get, but generally it's not that widely available. So it's the best track texture for grip. It's a solid track system. It's fully upgradable. The parts are available through stockists. I can easily get more parts, although I'm not keeping the track, so obviously I'm not going to. But if I did want to buy one myself after, would I buy one myself? Yes, 100%. After having Pete's track and testing it out, I would 100% buy that. If I was starting, I think if I was starting again, I would go Polycar. I don't think I'll go Scalextric, but because I've already invested money into Scalextric, then, and I'm not disappointed with Scalextric. I just don't think it's, you know, the best system out there. Especially with some new products coming on the market, such as like the magnetic racing timing gantry with a smartphone. I think that's a massive game changer. I think that's a huge product for magnetic racing. I think, you it makes it so easy to get a digital timing system as well as having something that looks really good, a piece of scenery on your track. It's an instant kind of, yep, I'm going to buy that because it allows me to do digital lap timing. So I think the landscape of slot cars is changing. Lots of different companies are coming up with lots of different things. It's pushing me more towards, if I was starting again, yeah, I'll go Polycar, and I would maybe add a magnetic racing gantry, a smartphone holder with lap tracks or similar app on there, because that would give me a cheap timing system. I wouldn't have to upgrade to an Arc or Carrera, and everyone's got a phone already, so straight away that's the cheapest option out there pretty much. And it's adding scenery. So yeah, I think Polycar, the things that let Polycar down, obviously it's not been out that long. It's not as fleshed out as Carrera. So if you're looking for a digital experience, an easy to use digital experience, Polycar is not going to be an option if you want digital. I would say Scalextric or Carrera, probably Carrera over Scalextric digital. But Scalextric do really, really good arc systems. So you've got your Arc One and your Arc Air. Those systems allow kind of some digital functionality, such as weather, laps, cataloging your cars, pace car, drag racing. So it really does open up. So if you want those kind of features, then actually would you move more towards Scalextric? And I think that is what is missing from Polycar, is they haven't got an easily kind of plug and play system that allows you to do that. And if they did, there would be no reason to go Scalextric. It would just go Polycar. So I think you still have to really think about the kind of experience you really want, or your family would want. But I am going to say this. I started with analog Scalextric. I went to digital Scalextric. I've got chips. I've got, I think, the 4-car power base, like the older one. Lane changers. I paid something in the region of 80, £90 upgrade to upgrade the track so I could run digital. I ran digital a few times. And to be honest, it was all right. It was fine, but it wasn't, to me, it wasn't game changing in terms of the excitement of racing. Yes, you can go on the same track as, or potentially do like an overtake, but what I did find was, to make that exciting, you would need quite a big track. And I just didn't have that, and most people don't have that. So it's one of those things where on a bigger track it might work different. It might be a better experience, but from the smaller tracks we were making, and Leo and I were playing with the digital system, it wasn't significantly better. So I kind of put the digital in a box, left it, and I haven't really come back to it. Do I miss it? Not really. I think how its digital has evolved with Carrera and Scalextric is that they've both now, obviously Scalextric have now got their Arc Pro system that does all the features of Arc 1, Arc Air, plus the being on different lanes, or sorry, the same lanes, being able to switch lanes. So maybe that is a better experience. But I've also used a track that's got Arc Pro, and for me, it wasn't game changing in terms of, it didn't really feel like it was that much better in terms of an experience. So I would quite happily stick with analog. That's what I race at the club. That's what I race at home. There's different ways you can structure an analog race to mean that it's based on the amount of laps you do rather than one person against another person going for laps. So instead of setting a 50 lap race or 25 lap race, one person has the inside lane, one person has the outside lane. You race your own race, and it's the person with the highest total number of laps within a time, and you run on both lanes. So it's down to your driving skill and ability to push and push and push that will give you, one person winning by a lap, half a lap, whatever, and your ability to stay on track. And for me, that is a better racing experience. It creates some very tense racing. You can try and keep up with the other person, and it is very fun. So, you know, I just don't I don't really, a lot of people go full circle, so they go to digital, they go back to analog. So, and that's not just me, that's a lot of people do that. So all these things like tire wear, fuel, weather, like blowouts, things like that, it's all good fun, but I kind of feel like there's nothing better than just stripped back pure racing with tuned cars and the skill of the driver against the clock. Essentially, that's what it comes down to. Like really fast cars, tuned cars, controllers, like club controllers, and pushing the limits. That's kind of where the excitement is for a lot of people. But saying that, digital is still fun, but you don't have to go fully digital. You can still do that on an analog system like Scalextric. So maybe I'll do an Arc Air review where I actually go through the functionality of it, and we can do some racing. So we could do that. But anyway, back to the Polycar. In terms of whether you should buy it, if you're new and you're looking for a system, it's well worth a look. But I wouldn't say, you should just go out and get that. I think talking to people, doing your research is still very important to what kind of experience you want to get. If you want to do drag racing, then maybe it is Scalextric that you have a look at. I'm not sure if Carrera do drag racing, that I think they might do. And you might have to look if you're looking to run drag racing at home, then using one of the I think Arc Air does drag racing. You might have to look to that if you want to do that at home and you don't want to go full on hobby grade setup in terms of like light trees and all the timing system and everything else, and you just want something that's plug and play. But in terms of a good racing experience, a stripped back, exciting racing experience, does Polycar deliver that? 100% yes, it does. That is magnet and non-magnet as well. So the great thing about Polycar is it rides both. So if you've got a child that is just starting out, but you think that they're going to get more into it and take it seriously, then Polycar's perfect fit because it grows with the child. So you can start off with magnets. You can adjust the magnetic downforce because it's on a spring, um, and you can have it up further into the car or down further towards the track, fully adjustable. You can also take that magnet out and experience non-mag as well, building bigger tracks with wider radius turns, so you can actually carry more speed through um, the track. You can add borders, you can add bridges, you can um, add more track. And yeah, it's just something that will grow with the child. And who knows in the future, you can already get four lane. The four lane control, the power control and controllers connectors is already available as an upgrade. So you can upgrade to that four lane tracks, straight away pretty much. I don't think it's particularly expensive to do that either. Um, Obviously, it is going to be fairly expensive to create four lane because of all the extra track, but um, over time, like actually buying the actual piece isn't expensive, and obviously you can add to it over time, or you can add another set. So they do like the figure of eight set that's a bit bigger. So there's options out there essentially. And the Polycar cars are kind of toy grade to a point. They're not fully hobby grade, but they work without magnets, which is really, really important because it gives that experience to that younger person that would then the next logical step might be when they're older is they actually buy a Polycar car. So like one of the historic cars, when they're a bit older, and that is going to give them a really, really good detailed model. So obviously, when they get older, they might be more interested in the detail. So a really high quality model that actually moves. It's magless, and I disagree with what Scalextric say. They're saying at the moment, oh, we produce toy cars that move. Okay, well, that's great, but you've got to move with the times because in terms of the slot car market, it's growing, especially teenagers want to experience something that might be non-mag. And obviously with adults getting back into it, they want something that, they're demanding more performance, better quality models, and you're not offering that. You're just saying, oh, we just do toys, film, whatever. Great, okay. I don't disagree that they don't produce some fantastic models, which I think they do. I really like the Land Rover. I really like some of their other cars, GT3 cars, BTCC. I'm not saying they're bad. Um, I do actually race some of those at the club, but you have to do a lot of modifications. Why can't they just accept that the way the hobby is going, more people are running non-mag cars? You can't deny that, Scalextric. You got to go with the times. I'm not saying all your range has to be accommodating that, but why can't you produce something at the top end for the older teenager or the hobbyist, the older person getting back into it that is more focused on performance? Why can't you reintroduce hop-up parts? Because it's not like you haven't done that before. And yeah, I just get really, it's up to them what they want to do, but ultimately, a lot of other manufacturers have realized this, toy manufacturers. So SCX is a great example. They've reintroduced motor pods. They've gone with brass rear bearings. So they're moving with the times. You're still stuck, you know, kind of Scalextric went from producing kind of like race, like kind of club racing type cars, and having kind of, um, the ability to add a 3D printed chassis. You could get urethane tires, because I've got some on my rally cars and they work really well, on Scalextric rally cars. Bearings, axles, metal wheels, all this stuff. I don't think they got it right when they did it, because it wasn't really, didn't fit in with what other manufacturers were doing, and I realized that it's a very kind of niche area, and you're not going to make lots of money on it, but it's elevating that brand in terms of, oh, actually, yeah, Scalextric are part of, rather than kind of doing their own thing, they're actually part of this bigger slot car world. And a lot of manufacturers are growing, rapidly growing, expanding facilities, putting out cars that are really, really good, high spec, non-mag, high quality parts, great detail, and they don't really cost much more than a Scalextric car. So, if you're selling toy cars, like, and other manufacturers are producing high quality cars, what are the older people that are involved in kind of getting back into the hobby going to go with? They're going to maybe start with a Scalextric car and then go, oh, this Polycar is really cool. It's non-mag, metal wheels, the high quality detail, and it doesn't cost much more. They're not going to continue. They might get a few Scalextric cars, but they're not going to continue probably buying as much. That's surely it's going to hurt the business. So I know you want to focus on toys and kind of producing toy models that move, but you need to be doing something, whether it's at the top end of your range and producing a few cars that are more focused, hobby focused. I just feel that that's what is needed. Definitely quality control is needed in 2024, but there we go. Anyway, bit of a rant. Let's finish the video. So Polycar, BRZ drift set, very high quality, grows with the child, is expandable. The cons are the lack of digital racing, the lack of kind of available second-hand parts, maybe if you're looking to get into it cheaper. But really, there's not that many cons. So I would quite happily recommend people just go out and buy one if you're in the market. If you're getting back into the hobby, 100% go and get a Polycar set. If you're buying for a child and you want the best experience for the child, I can recommend you go and get a Polycar set. If you're buying for a slightly older child, say like they're teenager, Polycar set, 100%. The Polycar historic cars are really, really good quality. We're talking exceptional quality. They run non-mag. They're fully upgradable. They're just really good models as well. So I'd definitely recommend. There we go. Until next time, guys. Take it easy, take care, and I'll see you on the next video.